Hello and welcome to TNA Top 10, episode 143, May 10th, 2026, and 143. That's the number of letters in the words I love you, and that's what you should be saying to your mom as well as pampering her today. And you'll notice our mom's not here, so who the hell knows how this is going to go, Andrew?
Well, I'm on one today, Terry. The
She's
Yankees
not
got
going to back
swept.
you off at all, so
Yeah, the
we'll see what
Yankees got swept today, and I am not excited about it. I am once again firmly on the Fire Boone train, which I'll explain later in our program. Although I never really got off of it, I'm pretty sure he's managing for his job, and I'll explain that too. But anyway, yes, no, Allison was not feeling well tonight, so everybody, best wishes to her. Happy Mother's Day to all of our moms out here.
That's right.
And we're here, and this topic, most annoying driver habits. Sorry, first day with a new mouth. Probably is going to kick off a series of negative or more critical top 10 lists.
It definitely is, because I've already got a slide about it. So,
it is decided, folks.
Yeah, so I will go ahead and say, and you went away for a second, but I will go ahead and say that in 3 weeks I'm gonna be in town but not available because I got a Sunday night thing to go to that I got invited to, and I need to go to that. So yeah, thank you for saying Happy Mother's Day to Alison Faye Devon. She is not here tonight because she's feeling under the weather, unfortunately. And here comes
Camera did something funny.
Well, we got our third because
oh my
Super
God,
Dave to the rescue. He made it a lot sooner than I thought he would. And here comes Amy saying hello. Hey, Amy. Happy Mother's Day.
Maybe he drives the way I do, Terry, in a fucking hurry.
And we were just down the street at about a mile and a half away at a friend's house at a crawfish bowl. We were on our way home.
Oh, okay.
Well, don't rush on our account. It's Teps Day, you know.
Well, we were rushing. We were rushing so I could watch this show.
Oh, okay. Well, it's even worse. You got to be on the show.
Yeah. As we were saying, Dave, before you jumped on, Allison is not feeling well. Traveled out of town, came home sick. How does that work, everybody? God bless. But hopefully she recovers well. We do. And I was saying we wish all of the mothers happy Mother's Day. And then my camera went out. I don't know what the hell happened, but Terry, this is going to be a fun show, clearly.
Well, 45 minutes ago, I rebooted my router, and not a single thing in my house reconnected to it properly. And one of them said I had the wrong password. So I was like, oh, shit, we may not have a show at all tonight. So I'm just happy to be here.
Well, this is a good one for me to be on because I drive professionally. So there's a lot of annoying driving habits.
For Frito-Lay, bitches.
So other than that, we got the regular show. We're going to talk about Major League Baseball, and we're going to talk about possibly a little bit of AEW and WWE, although neither one of us watched the pay-per-view this weekend. So.
Yeah, I caught the highlights, and I know what happened, but I did not watch. I was busy watching the Yankees blow a extra innings game last night. So
I was in the ring last night. I refereed 3 matches for SWA.
Were they any good? Tell us about it without spoiling your own show for later this week.
Well, no, I mean, it was the main event was tables, ladders, and chairs match between the Riots and the Dumb Frost Boys, DFB, and this was they didn't just go to a tables, ladders, and chairs match. This is a personal issue that's been building up and building up and building up. And they had to find a way to keep the Frost Boys from constantly getting themselves disqualified to hang on to those belts.
Gotcha.
And they tried to handcuff one of the Riots to the ropes, and it backfired. Where one of the Daybreakers got handcuffed to their manager, and after a 450 through a table on Nate, it was they climbed the pole and got the belts, and it was 700 plus lost it. I mean, this is an old school promotion that believes that the heavyweight championship should be the main event, but there was no way that this tag match couldn't be the main event last night.
Couldn't follow it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is one of the rare times that this had to be the main event.
Right.
Understood. Well, very good.
So it sounds like we're not going to have a lot of talk about the pay-per-view. So
I will say though.
Go ahead, Dave.
I'm sorry. I will say that before the match, normally they know I'll check them, but this time I just said, "Hey, you guys ready?" And one of the and Doc said, "Are you going to check us?" And I said, "Anything goes. I don't care if you brought a gun."
I'm just going to go be in the corner. I'll be ready to.
That's basically what I did.
Just
making sure nobody was hurt. And when they got the ladder and did a helicopter spot with the ladder, I went to the floor. I'm not getting hit with the ladder.
Well, that's what always gets on my nerves. It's like when you've got a match like that and you're getting all these 5 counts from the ref, and I'm like, what are you going to do if he don't let go? I mean, it's no DQ.
Somebody tried to pin somebody, and I started to go down to count it and caught myself. And then one time they were choking in the corner, and I went to go, and I mean, it's just muscle memory that you do it. But like I said, I could have probably stayed outside the ring, and Ref Obama was outside the ring. But really, our main job was just to make sure the guys were okay.
Yeah.
Because they were taking some pretty crazy bumps.
You said a 450 through a table sounds like a car crash. Pretty typical TLC match.
Sammy Riot is, I'm telling you guys, he's going to make it. His time on the indies is not. I'll be shocked if it's very, very long. That he's starting to venture out. He's going to get some exposure. Very talented young man, and they just got they got Nate on the table, and Sammy got up and did a 450 through the table, and that then now both men are incapacitated. So getting the belts off the pole were pretty good. It was pretty good.
Awesome.
Good psychology too. The guy that puts the guy through the table is also down and stays down. I appreciate that.
It was good.
You don't always see it.
Well, you sacrificed, and then you let the other guy go get the belt.
Yeah, exactly.
It was good. Great crowd too. Great crowd.
Yeah.
700. Is that a big crowd for y'all?
For a high school gym, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet.
Well, I didn't know what the venue was, but yeah. That's awesome then.
I mean, 4 to 5 is pretty typical, but 7 to 8 is really good for one of those schools down there.
Was that raising money for the school?
Yes. Yeah.
So a good cause too.
Oh yeah. It's always for a football team, soccer team,
Right.
Baseball. They spread it around, and 98% of their shows are in schools.
That's awesome.
With the caveat, kids don't try this at home right before the 450 splash.
Yeah, and also don't. But there's a huge emphasis on don't do anything that's going to cost us our building, because if we lose one, we lose them all.
Yeah.
And we got a really good deal and doing good work for the schools down there. And it's a different type of vibe down there. I mean, people are into it. People believe. And the guys that work those shows, a lot of them live down there, and the heels are heels in public. And I mean, it's something.
So they're
That's
not
actually
eating Waffle
cool.
House after the show.
It's cool when they're completely bodied. And I told Stephanie, there's a lady that sits on the front row. Something happens to me, she's number one suspect, because she's on my ass like a dog.
It's like Terry's Meemaw yelling when Tully Blanchard came on TV.
Oh, she would throw stuff at the TV.
Oh, she was screaming at me, "You need glasses!" And I was like, "What?" She goes, "You need glasses."
And a hearing aid.
I go, "I don't have my hearing aid on. I can't hear you." And I looked at the ring announcer. I said, "Is she talking about my ass?" Is she saying asses?
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. So I take it Steph had a good Mother's Day.
She did. She did. We
Good.
we went to church, went to her mom's house and had lunch and spent the day with the grandbaby, and her kids came over and saw her, and we polished it off at the neighbors for crawfish.
That's awesome.
Crawfish is fantastic too. I am
Yes.
all for a traditional, real deep South low country boil.
It was good.
Yeah. I saw some poor people shrimp comment over here from the peanut section, but no, crawfish are the real deal. And you can keep your shrimp at $87 a pound right now. So
I don't think it's shrimp. I think it's like a underachieving lobster.
yeah, pretty much.
White trash lobster.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but they are so good. I mean, they really are. They are so good. My first time
I
I
might
ever
pay
had
somebody to peel it for me, but they are
first
tasty.
time I ever had a low country boil. My dad, his first project as the project manager of a hospital back in 1995. This is how long ago this was to put in a pneumatic tube system because that was a big deal then. And the guys that came in were from Louisiana, and they cooked the crawfish, and it was incredible. 10-year-old me had never tasted such sweet Cajun spices, and they were awesome. So very good.
We've gotten a little creative now with what we're putting in there with the crawfish. Of course, you always got your sausage, corn, and potatoes and onions.
Mhm.
But now we're getting where we're dropping mushrooms in there,
Mm.
hard boiled eggs.
Oh yeah.
And this year it's been Brussels sprouts. And Brussels
Yeah,
sprouts soaking all that
That
goodness
sounds
up
good,
are
yeah.
incredible.
Brussels sprouts are highly underrated, and they, if cooked properly,
If cooked properly.
are incredible.
Oh,
Well, the bigger they are, the more bitter they are. So I try to keep the smaller ones and cook
Yeah.
those.
Terry's dinging. Terry, we're on a podcast. Just thought I'd
I
remind
think
you.
that was me.
Oh,
yeah,
was
I was
it?
gonna say I'm not.
It's
Oh.
my Apple Watch.
My bad. Hey, Dave, we're on a podcast, but
I don't
that's
know how to
warning you
sign-
to take your pills.
I don't
So,
We're talking about Dave's ding-a-ling, and let's move.
ding-a-ling, 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 ling-a-ding. Yeah.
All right, let's move
Um,
it on to baseball, and
let's.
we'll get back to the wrestling, and we'll talk food some too. But
Of
I've already
course
seen
we-
some comments of options that were not on the list for the poll later, but we'll get into that too.
Yeah, so I'm going to address one now. Matthew Elvis Presley, most annoying driving habits, drinking alcohol. You 100%, sir, are correct. However, this is for humor and entertainment. This is not about the seriousness of getting behind the wheel drunk. As a former raging alcoholic, I would drink and drive myself, and that's some stupid fucking shit for those of you playing along at home.
Oh yeah,
So
let's not
you
do
are
that.
correct. You are correct. But I am. This is for fun, and that ain't fun. So we ain't talking about it.
And
So,
your mama wouldn't be proud.
No, she wouldn't. Although she did it herself too. But anyway, I'm just saying the local bar was a mile and a half from the house. Terry, before you get into the standings, I'm wearing a Warbirds hat today.
Warbirds.
I went to the local Wilson Warbirds game. It's a new stadium downtown Wilson. My buddy John lives up there, and he lives about 3/4 of a mile from the stadium. And we got to see a single A minor league team. You can tell they're not very good yet, but David Ortiz's son was on the other team. So this is the single A team for Milwaukee. And ironically enough, they beat the Yankees this week, which sucks. But the other team was from Boston, and David Ortiz, Big Papi's son, was on that team. So kind of cool to see the connection there that he is trying to make it in the big leagues like his father.
So, you know what's interesting, and I forgot about this. I shared this last year, but it came up in my Facebook memories. The son of Prince Fielder is in his second season of pro ball. That's the grandson of Cecil Fielder, who played when I was younger. And man, do I feel old that the grandson of a guy that I grew up watching is now playing pro ball.
He's now playing ball. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, the minor league stuff is fun. It's $10
It
to
is.
get in, and the food costs just as much. But like they had it was Marvel night, so they had some antics and stuff for the kids. It was a really good time, and they're going to do good things with that stadium. The town of Wilson, North Carolina, has become fairly progressive and modernized, but it's a small town, so they're bringing some of the stuff you'd get in a big city to a smaller town. The town's making money, might as well keep doing it. So good for them. But we'll be back there, I'm sure, and there ain't a bad seat in the house because, of course, it's a minor league baseball field. It's just, you can see everything. And we were five seats up or 5 rows up from on the third baseline on the opposing team dugout. So anyway,
that's good. Yeah, and
Yeah, it was
Cyrus,
good fun.
3
Go
years
ahead.
ago. Oh, well, I was going to say, like you were saying, minor league baseball is great. Obviously, I got my Bananas shirt on, which is a different category. But about 3 years ago, we went to the Trash Pandas, and they pulled Cyrus in, and they got him with the mascot before the game, and he said, "Play ball into the microphone." So
That's awesome.
you get to do things. You don't get to do things like that at the Braves game.
Yeah, and
Not very often.
you said banana ball. My niece loves professional wrestling. She's a Chody fan. That's disgusting. I can't help that. I told her Roman's the only wrestler that matters in WWE right now. But she likes banana ball. She ain't never watched baseball in her life, but she likes to sing, and she's a very good singer. So since banana ball is just a concert during a baseball game,
Oh yeah,
she absolutely loves banana ball. I come home from work last night. Her little ass is sitting on the couch watching banana ball. And she knows the players' names and their numbers, and she's singing along on the couch. I think it's fantastic. But she
yeah.
don't
I
know
mean, they
shit
don't
about
stop
baseball.
the music for pitches or anything.
No.
No, I promise you, my niece knows absolutely
Party.
nothing about baseball. So
We had the Mississippi
Fun.
Mud Monsters. They're in their second season, and we'll probably get out to a few games this season. We had a good time last year. We didn't. It's just you don't slow down enough to get to go as much as you'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of our situation too. And Huntsville's a pretty big hockey town, and supposedly the hockey team here, the Huntsville Havoc's, like the most fun you can have out in Huntsville at night. But we've never been to see one of those. Everybody
all right,
talks about how great it is.
first squirrel moment of the night. We want to shout out to one Mike Bober, who made ESPN for 8th grade gym class floor hockey. Mike actually did make ESPN. They did a highlight reel on ball hockey. They got a shot of him making a goal. And so congratulations, Bober. I actually watched hockey because it involved you. And I don't give a shit the Hurricanes are in the playoffs and I live in North Carolina. Because all of a sudden, everybody around here is a hockey fan, Dave. And I'm like, y'all don't watch hockey. You don't say a word about hockey till the playoffs. And all of a sudden, everybody's an expert on hockey. Yeah, exactly. Playoffs.
Yeah, we're feeling a little low right now about hockey because our Dallas Stars did not make it past the first round this year.
Yeah, I think I don't know if Carolina won last night or not. I know my brother-in-law and nephew were watching the game, but I don't know if they won or not. That's how much I pay attention. The game was on, and I don't know if they won or lost.
Yeah.
So
when you said playoffs, I don't ever know it's the hockey playoffs until somebody says, "Hey, it's the hockey playoffs."
Yeah, somebody said basketball was on the other day. I said, "Shit, it's baseball season." I absolutely do not care about basketball.
I just saw a clip today of LeBron James throwing a hissy fit, and you never know if it's a new one or there's so many. But if I found out that Oklahoma's up on the Lakers 3-0 in the playoffs, and I'm super excited, and I'm hoping they get swept. Because then you can say LeBron and his son are the first father and son duo to ever be swept in the playoffs.
Yeah, here's my thing. The days that I enjoyed basketball are long gone. LeBron James, Mr. Greatest Player Ever, whatever, brought the flop to basketball, and I'm not interested in talking anything more about LeBron James.
Right. And
then I turned the TV on to watch other basketball teams, and I couldn't tell you who the hell is on the team anymore. because they bounce around so much with free agency and trading and all the other stuff. So,
Well, the Mavericks killed it for me when they traded Luka.
Oh
yeah.
And they traded Luka to the Lakers. So
Yep.
Luka got hurt. I don't care because Luka don't play for the Mavericks anymore. He plays for the Lakers, so he's dead to me. Because he's a Laker. I don't like the Lakers. There's only one Laker I've ever liked, and that's Shaq. How you not like Shaq?
You don't like Magic Johnson?
No. I mean, I do now. Like you go, it's kind of like when they're retired, you'll start respecting what they did.
Start forgiving them. Yeah, Yankees and Red Sox sit talking to each other.
Yeah, but this
in the
fact that the Lakers and Ric Flair's triggered that Luka's hurt and giving him crap that he makes so much money and he's not in the playoffs helping his team, and I love it. I just love it.
Is Rick drunk, or is the Alzheimer's finally starting to set in? That's what I want to know.
I think he's drunk, but I mean, he's a 77-year-old millionaire living it all. I mean, leaving it all out here every day. I don't care what Rick's like any other sports fan. He comments about his team, and the only reason that he gets anybody says anything is because he capitalizes every word, and
oh yeah,
that's how you know it's really Rick, because he's got his phone set for that where every word's capitalized, and but he's a sports.
At least it's not every other letter.
Like all he does, and he's always been that way, is he gets up, he watches ESPN all day. He's huge.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and correct you. He is not like every sports fan, because that bitch will bandwagon jump so fast.
Oh God, yes,
he's a fan of everybody.
I'm gonna say
Ty Domi, when Ty Domi's kid played for the Stars, all of a sudden Rick's at the AAC wearing a Stars jersey, supporting Ty Domi's kid, and I'm like, oh God, we just got to kiss to death. We're out this year.
Yeah, you're done. Bye.
I love Rick, but when he jumps on your bandwagon, you are not gonna. I mean, stay on the Lakers bandwagon.
A little bit of a baseball standings update. You know, these are always as of yesterday, because I'm not busting my butt to update the standings on this page right before the show starts. But Braves with a hefty lead over the Nationals. The Yankees are actually a game behind the Rays now. Pretty much, I think Dodgers and Padres are tied for the West lead I saw. And the Cubs are in this one that shows them with the same record as the Braves, but I think the Cubs may have lost and the Braves won today, so the Braves retake the top spot in the league.
Yeah, the NL Central is going to be your division to watch. The Brewers are an absolutely fantastic baseball team in that they are fast. They play small ball. They have a guy named Jacob Mezorowski who Friday threw 104 miles an hour. And then he threw 103 miles an hour 10 times. And then he threw over 100 miles an hour another 20 separate times. So the kid is a stud in that he is going to have, as long as he don't blow that elbow out, he is going to have a very long career making people like the best right-handed batter in the history of baseball, Aaron Judge, look really stupid. Really stupid. He threw a ball yesterday to Judge, middle is where it started. And it ended up in Judge's eyes. And Judge had already committed to the swing. And the ball hit 103 miles an hour. You have no time to lay it down. If you swing, you swing. And, coming from 60 feet away. In the fifth inning, his last pitch was a sinker that started middle and dropped to Cody Bellinger's ankle. And Bellinger literally swung all the way around and then swung his whole body around because he was so tied up. That pitch, 103 miles an hour. It is incredible what these young pitchers are doing. Yesterday, Cam Schlittler pitches 6 innings and loses. He didn't lose. They didn't give him the loss. But the Yankees lose because Aaron Boone decides to make pitching changes in the 9th inning and not let the closer pitch the 10th inning. So, I'm on the fire Boone train, as I always have been. But I think he's probably managing for his job, as we talked about last week. You've already fired Alex Cora. You've already fired the Phillies manager. There will be open positions in baseball again this year, but the
There-
Brewers are a very good small ball baseball team, and they show up when it matters. They were showing exit velocity against Fried Terry Friday night. Max Fried pitched 40 pitches in the second inning of the game. 40. Second highest total ever, and gave up 4 runs.
I'm a
And-
casual. I got a question for you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Is this typical at this time of the season for so many teams to be under 500?
No.
Because the NL Central is the only one that has everybody above
Well,
500.
I mean, every
Yeah, I
game's
don't-
going to be a win for somebody and a loss for somebody. So it's
Yeah,
going to balance out. But
to have this many teams, to Dave's point, Terry, we were talking about it before the show started. The Yankees and the Rays are the only ones with more than 21 wins in the entire American League, and that's pretty stout, But it's also May 10th, so
I am interested. It looks like maybe the National League is putting a spanking on the American League when it comes to interleague play, because it looks like the totals would be far in the NL's favor there. But a little bit of the balance with the Central is that the East only has the Braves. Everybody else is horrible.
Yeah, and the Yankees lost to this. They've lost their third series. They lost to Milwaukee, got swept. They got beat by the Athletics, that have an underrated, very athletic baseball team, no pun intended. And then they lost to the Rays, got swept by 3. So they've only lost 3 series. But I think, is it the Braves that have only lost 1?
They lost to the Mariners just like recently. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Mariners up until then. That's the only one they've lost. Yeah.
I'm blown away that Texas got 2 out of 3 from the Cubs.
Well,
Yeah.
and Texas is a much better baseball team than their record. And I don't say that because they gave the Yankees hell, but maybe the Yankees lost to Texas too. I don't remember. They're either 3 or 4 series at this point, but they've been playing fine. They're not playing October baseball yet. So, but the Texas's pitching is incredible, but they have no offense. And that's the problem, is that they're allowing less than 5 runs a game. They are scoring less than 5 runs a game. And when I say less than 5, it's closer to 4 than it is 5 on both accounts. And if you get a team like the Yankees, who all of a sudden bust your bullpen like they did in the 8th inning, you are not going to beat them. So
we're a quarter of the way, roughly, and we've got 120 games left. And there's a long way to go, but there's some big leads right now.
Yeah, some
And
serious.
then, like you said, the Central is packed together.
Central is packed, yeah. That's going to be the revolving door, because I watched the Padres play the Cardinals yesterday. Great baseball game. 10-10 start, Terry, your favorite. We got to start late, because it's West Coast.
That's right.
But the one thing I will say about the Yankees, and I know I talk about the Yankees, that's the team I watch most, is that at least their bullpen is not nearly as bad as the Orioles. And now they go back to Baltimore after the game today, and they get to play 3 in Baltimore. So hopefully they can, rub some dust off it and get the bruised egos out of the way and whatnot. But Rodon looked good for 4 innings today. He got busted in the 5th, but he looked good. No. Nobody gives a shit about Mike Trout in New York, Devin. Stop it. Stop it.
He will be an angel his whole career, I think.
So he can get hurt his 5th game in? No, thank you. No. Anyway, so yeah, and like I said, I wanted to talk about Medrowski because that was absolutely stupid, hitting 104 miles an hour. And then the 103 multiple times. But like you say, Terry, Fried always has a bad game sometime in the season, and he had a bad inning. You don't throw 40 pitches and win a baseball game. It's just not happening. So
that's right. Well, let's move along and see what we can get into with wrestling, considering we did not watch the pay-per-view. But you said you know what happened. At least tell me.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the biggest part of the show is because TKO came out and removed Roman from dates. So Roman and Jacob in the main event wrestle for the world title. or the Raw title or the Netflix title. What are we calling it, Dave? The Netflix title? Calling it the Netflix title? Is that fair? Not Chody's title.
That's the Netflix. That's the Netflix belt.
Yeah, so the Netflix belt, and they're wrestling for the Netflix belt, and
Are they actually calling it the Netflix belt?
No, that's us.
I was about to say, because I have heard that kind of crap elsewhere, but the WWE has not. Okay.
Yeah. So the Netflix
it's the
belt,
world belt, and it's being defended all over the world. So,
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, you got the champion of Netflix, and you got the champion of the USA Network.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
Because they don't tour. I mean, all they do is a TV show. They don't have house shows anymore.
Yeah.
No. And Roman gets the advantage. Spear, Superman punch, 2 count. Spear, 2 count. Can't put Jacob away. Finally puts Jacob away. And Jacob Fatu goes nuts at the end of the match, puts Roman Reigns out.
I love it.
So they're doing it, though, Dave, as we know, because we're smart fans and we unfortunately pay attention to the internet, because TKO decided they're not going to pay Roman to show up to work. So now they got to take him off TV. And that's why they did it. So you can't bitch about a part-time schedule for your world champion who was committed to be there through the summer when the boss pulls the plug.
Well, I mean, it ain't important.
Because on this show, we do not disparage the name of Roman Reigns.
Well, I mean, if he wasn't too good to fly like everybody else and not have to be the private jet requirement, he'd probably be on that tour.
You going to tell John Cena he couldn't fly on a private jet? You going to tell Ric Flair he couldn't fly on a private jet? You going to tell Stone Cold he couldn't fly on a private jet? What about
one of them that they couldn't fly on a private jet?
Well, I think we're seeing a shift in the WWE. They're shifting to the younger guys, and who knows what happens next.
Well,
they're getting away from some of the way things were done. Yeah.
If you're going to fly Roman to 3 Raws in June overseas, you're paying $1 million a pop for private to fly that plane. You're cutting $3 million off the P&L, and we know that this is corporate wrestling.
Yeah.
But I think they made a mistake. They should have put the belt on Jacob, because you got Night of Champions coming up, and who wants to see Cody and Roman again? I don't.
Right.
No.
Right.
So I mean, this would have been a good time. Like, put it on Jacob. Roman don't need it. And honestly, between the 2 belts, I think the world belt's beneath Roman.
Generally speaking, I don't think I want to see Cody at all. But that's just a general comment. Let's talk about independent wrestling, Dave. Okay. During the pandemic, one Danhausen became very popular and an internet darling.
Yes.
And is actually a much better wrestler than people think he is. Because he never wrestles. But he did the whole money thing online and video. Well, he got a match, Terry, at Backlash, and they won. And it was a nice little gimmick match, and they won. But the Danhausen, I should not like. I am an old school NWA wrestling fan.
Yes.
That was fine with Ole dropping the knee on somebody's stretched out arm and that being the finish, to a tag team match. Or watching Harley hit the pile driver one time, then that was it. That we were done. But I really like Danhausen. And it's just a guilty pleasure that I really, really, really like Danhausen.
Well, they're not insulting our intelligence with Danhausen.
Right.
It's like a gag, and we know it's a gag. And, I mean, I actually liked that. I saw a clip of it. The clone machine, and it opens, and a mini walks out. And even Danhausen looks at the camera and goes, "Oh, shit." Mm-hmm. So he even sold that this didn't work. He didn't get, so he got the mini housing, and I mean, it's funny. And I crapped on that he came out of the box.
Yeah.
But look how successful it's been. And I don't know if they made him. Well, I mean, they didn't make him this successful. They put him out there and people ate it up.
Yeah.
And they're going to squeeze that as long as he's producing merch sales and being entertaining, they're going to put him in that spot. But it's just, I get it. It's campy. Batman 66. They call it Grindhouse. And when I did a little research about Grindhouse, I completely get that. But the whole Danhausen song and the girls on when he came out with, and then the minis, the whole thing feels like Batman 66.
Yeah.
And if you get the joke, it's okay. And you're just like, Dave, that's a little hypocritical because you constantly crap on Darby as not being believable. No, I don't believe Darby should be pinning Brody King. I don't.
And we'll get there in a second.
Yeah. So,
but Darby's not funny.
Yeah, this Darby's sold a serious competitor pillar of the company. Danhausen is your comic relief, and we know in an entertainment company that he's supposed to be comic relief, and he's along the lines of an R-Truth.
Yeah.
Who as they've made serious he's still kind of not serious, but with Damian Priest, this isn't Truth's wheelhouse. Truth is a 24/7 guy. I mean, you could have put Truth out there with Danhausen last night, and it would have been, oh my God. It wouldn't have made sense because he's a tag champion. I would have had Oberhausen out there with him to destroy everybody, but the mini worked.
Right. Well, and the thing is like one of the things I respect about Danhausen is that he did it during the pandemic from his basement and got himself popular. And then he went to what is not a wrestling company, but an entertainment company. And they will, to your point, get every dollar and cent that they can on the Danhausen. Third thing is he is something on the show for the kids. That's just all there is to it. Because it's funny.
Children of all ages, though.
Right.
Yeah, but he does the punch in the balls as a joke. But, I mean, people still laugh at that, He does the little person thing, and all of a sudden, if you've seen Austin Powers, here comes Mini-Me. It's Mini Danhausen.
He came out on Sports Center the other day and did plays of the week, the top 5. He came out and took over.
Yeah.
And then put the bonus one in there of him punching Miz in the dick.
Yeah.
But I mean, he came out and he was like doing like he had been doing it his whole life, calling the plays, calling them Housens, and it just making fun of it's genius.
Yeah.
And it really is working.
And WWE and their partnership with ESPN is only going to make people like him, not like him, but in using that platform, they're going to be able to get better and better at it, And he's incredible. He's very creative. He's funny. I mean, the stuff it's funny to me. It shouldn't be funny, but it's funny. And
seen his wife, he's a hell of a salesman too.
Yeah, I'm good with it. He sold somebody at TKO to give him a contract.
Yeah. And when you think about how incredible that is, that they didn't change him.
No. Nope.
Right.
Same name, same gimmick, same outlook, or same outfit, same attire. Yeah.
You don't have to change everybody. And they were smart enough. And maybe they knew they could bring him in and put him in a position to sell some merch.
Yeah. Well, and WWE, make no mistake about it, even when Hogan was wrestling, it's always been dollars and cents.
Right.
The only thing is back then wrestling sold. Wrestling made the money.
There's always been some
not the
form.
TV rights. Not,
Yeah.
There's always been some form of comic relief. Even if it was just things that The Rock said, which was more the main event portion of the show. But, you've got R-Truth has been doing the thing. The Miz would throw some things in there. Otis. I'd love to see Otis and Danhausen together.
Oh, that would have been good. And when Danhausen takes his shirt off now, you can tell he got on that he took his training serious.
Yeah.
And he got cut up. I mean, he's not the biggest fellow in the world, but he's put a little size on and muscle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't, he didn't look like the beanpole. And
no,
but how they couldn't find something for him to do on the other channel.
It's incredible. And it's Tony Khan not seeing what he has, and he's done it over and over again. It's great. We got these people, they're coming in, blah, blah, blah. We use them 6 weeks, and then you don't see them again.
I'd
I send a text that says that person still works here when you see them 6 months later. Like, oh, okay, they're still
Right.
here. You know?
I'd like to know who it is in WWE creative that gets it. That gets it and was able to sell it. Was it Bruce? I can't imagine it was Triple H.
It would not shock me if it was Triple H, though. And here's why. DX was a comedy act with two very good professional wrestlers.
It's true.
Yes.
With two very good professional wrestlers. I mean, the Hall of Famers. They're two of the best ever.
Right.
But it worked. And if you remember DX 97, they didn't wrestle a whole lot. It was more all of the sexual innuendo and dialing up the Attitude Era and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah, because it's almost 30 years later, and we're, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation, proud to present to you your 3-time WWE Tag Team Champions of the World. I mean, we still know it.
Yep. Word for word.
We still know it.
And that's the wrestling fans in us. But you could say that to me 20 years from now, Dave, and we could do it together. I mean, that's how imprinted it is, you know?
Yes.
Not me. I
You might
skipped
not
those
remember
years.
it because you're an elderly, but you know. And if you wanted to be an elderly too, jumpinthepond.com. You can be I am an elderly with Dave over here. I am the youngest person on the show, so I am not an elderly. I am a child. And anyway, I guess Asuka and Rio, or not Rio, Iho had an incredible match and then became friends again. So that's odd, but whatever.
There's some speculation that Asuka may have retired.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
But I looked at it and I see that you could think that, but maybe it was like, okay, Kairi Sane's gone now. Maybe, and there's no shortage of women heels in that locker room.
Right.
Maybe they needed Asuka to be a face, and it was like EO beat her, and Asuka's like, God, I see that I've been wrong. I'm so proud of you. You beat me, and can we reconcile? And she's crying tears of joy because she wants her friend back, and maybe Asuka's going to get a face push for a while. But it could be her last match too. I can see that you would think that either way.
Well, there's speculation she was telling people goodbye in the back. I'm not sure who's saying that stuff, but there's some rumors there.
It's hitting the Twitter, yeah. The other thing is I loved Asuka in NXT. And I've said this about people like Shayna Baszler. Then Asuka gets to the main roster. She gets a fairly large push. Then they don't know what to do with her after they've pushed her to a certain extent. And she's always been the upper mid-card, almost gatekeeper of the women's division.
She should not have lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Right.
I was glad she did. I was there. I knew that Asuka was going to beat Charlotte. I knew that because she was undefeated in NXT. I thought they'd keep that going for a while in WWE. There's people that were chanting for Asuka. I was chanting for Charlotte. And I got to be a little obnoxious when Charlotte got to win. But I didn't expect it. I literally popped for it. It's one of the few times that it's a great memory for me because I was so thrilled that Charlotte won. But in my knowing how it works mind, it was such a misstep that they should have kept her as, I mean, they did the same thing to Solo. They neutered Solo. They shouldn't have done the, you know, there's some things you need to let it continue, let it roll. And I've always felt like for some reason that they didn't know what to do with Asuka. Once they got her to the main roster, it was clueless. I'm kind of fearing it for Oba. I'm kind of fearing it for Trick.
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't want to go Goldberg.
We just had a gingerbread man funeral.
Yeah.
And I'm trying, I mean, really, I'm thinking that Trick should be, you know, he's Ric Flair and Gino Hernandez to me, all rolled up into one.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so damn good. And you've saddled him with this gingerbread man funeral gimmick. And it was funny. Truth made it funny with Sammy. But my God, don't blow it, because I see you're putting the gas on Jacob, and he deserves it. But maybe you could have saved Jacob for SummerSlam and got Oba immediately after Roman, because he retired Brock Lesnar. But they're not even leaning in that he retired Brock Lesnar.
No. Yeah, and you brought up an interesting point because you mentioned Jacob, you mentioned Solo. And I know this is only tangentially related, Terry, but this is what I do here, and I'm okay with it. You should be too. Jacob immediately overshadowed everybody. Immediately, from day one, he wasn't going to follow Solo. The fans weren't going to allow him to follow Solo.
Right.
So part of the neutering of Solo ends up being that you bring in somebody who has the charisma, the magnetism, the things that we as wrestling fans want to see, that we're drawn to. That man has it. And he might have more of it than Roman has.
Yes.
Because Roman is a WWE star. Jacob Fatu, you talk about independent wrestling, Dave. We were there with you at the wrestling showcase.
Yes.
That's a big son of a bitch that moves the way he moves. And I'd never seen Jacob Fatu in my life. And he's lost 50 pounds since then, and good for him. I mean, because he's going to be healthier and all the other stuff.
Let me pull the curtain back. Let me pull the curtain back a little bit. There's a fire sometimes that you can see in facials.
Mm-hmm.
When sometimes they just get in and it looks like doing this. Fuck you, this, that. No. Sometimes a wrestler hits the ring and they've got that fire. And I was in there with Jacob Fatu, and I couldn't poke holes in his stuff. I was on top of it. I could not poke holes in anything this man did. But it was the fire and intensity in his face. Last night on our independent show, there's a star named Steve Starr. Steve Starr's promoter, used to be a wrestler in the 80s for Gil Culkin. He's 60. He wants to have one last match. He's got in shape. He's lost a ton of weight. He looks good. He hit the ring to save somebody last night because he's trying to convince SWA management to let him have a match. He hit the ring to save somebody last night, and I popped because the fire, I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I told him, Steve, you need to show these young guys how to get that fire when they're doing things, because when you see it, it's so much different.
Yep.
And that's what Jacob Fatu has.
Yep.
And I think that I'm not down in Roman's background. I'm saying that Roman wasn't an indie darling. Fatu is hungry because he's been there, and he didn't get to come in immediately.
Right.
He didn't get the welcome mat. And when he got there, there's lots of restrictions put on him too because of his background and the mistakes of youth. I'm so high on Jacob Fatu. Solo should have, but when I say the neutering of Solo, they should have never made him Temu Tribal Chief. He was a monster, and he should have remained a monster. You could have put anybody else into that position, but you did not need to do that to Solo, because Solo was a believable badass. Because you always believed that if Solo snapped, Roman, the Usos, Sammy, nobody was going to be able to handle him.
Right.
And then the other night he cowered and moved over behind the announcers. And I'm like, man, why are you cowering? It breaks my heart that.
Well, it always annoyed me, bringing it to a larger star. When you think of Stone Cold, in your face, DTA, don't trust anybody, stunner, beer bath, blah, 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 badass. That's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. And then he turns heel with Vince, not just being a bad guy, calling Bret the shit man Hart, but when he turned heel with Vince at Mania, all of a sudden he became a coward. He became some guy that wasn't who he was before. Because you're a bad guy now, all of a sudden you got to run and hide, and you're doing all this bullshit that's not believable to the character that built the $1 billion wrestling company. And that is where you and I agree, just two different instances, Dave. But they've done it before. There
He
was
100% babyface Vince.
Yeah.
Vince didn't heel Austin. That night, Austin babyface Vince.
Well, you were there, so you would know.
And we all were beat The Rock to death. We didn't care.
Yeah.
If Vince wanted to help Austin.
And they should have known they had something when the next night on Raw, because, you know, The Rock's going away to make the movie, and Triple H comes out in the cage, and he and Austin beat down The Rock and become the two-man power trip. They had something because the fans weren't booing. They were cheering for them beating The Rock up, to your point, just like in Houston. So
Triple H went in the heel against The Undertaker in Houston.
No, that was a great match. That is an underrated WrestleMania
People were into Triple H. I was wearing a Triple H shirt, the one with the cut off sleeve. I mean, it was the black and it had the silver sleeve and the with the Iron Cross on it. And I was wearing Triple H gear at WrestleMania 17, and Motorhead played him to the ring. He was not a heel.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me where all of a sudden they become, you know, you turn heel and all of a sudden you're a chicken shit. Like the other example is Hogan. He goes from the red and yellow who can't get beat to the black and white, and all of a sudden he needs the 18 guys in the NWO to protect him and keep him from losing.
Right.
The story doesn't actually make any sense, you know. Of course, back in 1996, none of us gave a shit because wrestling was good again. But
it's the power of good overcoming evil. That's why Hogan couldn't do it when he switched.
Hogan is, oh my God. I ain't even watched the documentary yet, but my buddy told me about it. So
yeah, I'm 2 episodes in. We won't say too much on this show because I know that Dave and Amy.
It's an easy watch. I'm 2 episodes in. I got 2 more to watch. And that's what, you know. I can't wait to watch the other 2. And but the first 2 were easy. And the only reason I didn't watch all 4 in one sitting is because it was getting late. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And you know, like I say, on the wrestling, I think what was the other thing that happened? We had the only other thing on the show. I just lost it. Oh, Trick Williams won. Thank God. Sami Zayn did not win the Intercontinental title. Or U.S. title. Which one is it he has, Dave?
U.S.
title. That's right. Because Penta has the Intercontinental title. Or he did. I am only a casual viewer at this point, and I only watch things that interest me because there's too much damn wrestling on TV in the week. There just is. Too much of it. And so much of it's recycled. But I really appreciate you bringing some of that to light with Jacob, because I agree with you. The guy has it. And sooner rather than later, Jacob Fatu will be raising a world title of some kind. And
oh yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's not at SummerSlam, because who else?
It's got to be sooner.
Man, you could put Oba on a course for Jacob at WrestleMania next year.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. And let Jacob eat. Let him eat. I mean, he is so good. To your point, he's so believable. And you know, the one thing about heels when we were kids is you believe they will really hurt or kill you. That's not a thing in wrestling anymore. But, you know, I think if Bruce was the one who coined it, that's bullshit, that's bullshit, that's bullshit. But damn it, that was real.
Speaking of that, was real.
See when Jacob Fatu comes to the ring.
So are we going to have a draft and Braun Breaker get him over to the SmackDown side to go after Cody? Because
well, that was the other thing. They had the Rollins and Breaker match, and Breaker won the match. And I think it's great that Rollins is becoming the statesman who realizes he has no more mountains to conquer in the WWE, and he can help put over the younger talent. Breaker is a natural freak athlete that is just fun to watch. And Seth Rollins is a ring general. People don't look at him as a technical wrestler or put him in the category of the Bryan Danielson or the Randy Orton or even the Cody Rhodes. But for my money, Seth Rollins is as good of a professional wrestler as we've seen in a ring since a Chris Jericho, prime, Chris Benoit, prime, Kurt Angle, prime. Maybe not. Angle was really good. But he could wrestle those guys in a different era and be just fine.
I was thinking Brad. I was thinking of like the talent level of a Brad Armstrong, of of a Ric Flair, of a Tully Blanchard, of a Gino Hernandez. You could put them in there for the side for that body style for a Terry Taylor, of a Magnum TA. He's along that line that he can be the guy, but he can also be the guy that makes the guys.
Yep. Yeah, and he's very good. He is very good. The biggest thing is him to keep healthy at this point because he's starting to put some miles on that body. And let's face it, when he was Tyler Black, he was wearing it out in Ring of Honor,
Right.
So age does no jobs, does it, Dave? It will catch your ass.
You ain't got to tell me.
To your point, Dave, you were talking about.
It got called out to me today that I make noises when I get up off the couch. I didn't even realize it.
But to your point, Dave, about Fatu being believable, there's so much wrestling these days that looks choreographed, and they look like they are on the same page. These are two people that are not supposed to be on the same page. The whole storyline is they are not on the same page. If they look like they are doing agreeable things in the ring, that's not what we want to see. And one thing that really burns me up is when I see some move, and I can tell most of the effort came from the guy that's going to be laying on the mat.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't look that way.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And it's okay to be a little, I don't want to say sloppy in the ring. It's okay for it to look messy and not so pretty. And sometimes messy is much more believable because it's a fight.
Right.
It's a fight.
Yeah, like when two guys would go up and try to do like fly through the air and run into each other or something. I love that because it's like, oh, I guessed wrong.
Or they get up on the top rope and the guy's leaning there, but this guy's got to get both feet on the top rope to the side of him so they can do the thing together. Yeah. Do the flip together.
Right.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking if I don't want you to do this to me and you're trying to balance, then I'm just gonna let your ass go to the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was what was good about Joe moving out of the way.
Yeah.
Somebody's jumping off the rope.
Well, and the funny thing was it was like an indictment of the choreography. He's like, I ain't playing this shit today, But no, as I say, very good, very good. And from what I understand and the things I saw, Backlash looked like a fine pay-per-view. I mean, WWE doesn't put on bad programming. For some hardcore wrestling fans, it's boring. But what I'm saying is they're not putting people in the ring that are having terrible matches. I mean,
they don't overdo it with 20 matches with 80 people involved.
No, not typically. But on to the AEW, because Dave and I have a joint message to give to our fans here today. I'm not speaking for Dave, honestly, but Darby Allin as the world champion has made my boycott of AEW official. And I am one of those people, even though Wade Keller made fun of me, that says, I will not watch AEW until you put that title on someone who is much more believable and credible. Because Darby Allin is a glorified stuntman. He's not a professional wrestler. He'll probably kill and or maim himself in the ring before it's all said and done. I saw him take Ciampa's finish onto the floor, which was ridiculous. He beat Brody King, which is also ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Don't put Brody in that match. Don't put Brody in that match.
Here, I get that he's immensely popular with that group. I get it. He could have won the title in a ladder match. Win the title in a ladder match. Some way that he didn't have to pin somebody to get it. I'm cool with that. Beat Brody King because you got back into the ring before he did. He's not that mismatched against Ciampa size-wise. But the psychology that Ciampa's got him for the finish. Well, I tell you what, I'm going for the world title. And y'all know how much I love belts. I call them Goldie. I name them. I love them. Now I've got this guy that's not as big as my baby brother. I can do this finisher off the top rope and become the AEW champion. Nah, I'm just going to jump to the floor and hurt both of us.
Right, exactly.
Where's psychology?
It's stupid.
And I want to point out that AEW does not call their main belt the heavyweight championship. There's no weights. It's just the AEW championship.
Right.
I get Darby Allin. I really do. But I don't get the booking of Darby Allin because the trust file is not a finish. He shouldn't be pinning Brody King. I heard that he was going to have a match with Okada. And I'm like, man, if Okada puts him over, I'm going to just lose respect for Okada because in no world should he be able to beat Okada. But then I heard they changed the match and now it's Takeshita. But in no world should he be able to beat Takeshita.
Yes, no better.
Unless Okada comes out and costs Takeshita the match, which I would have said if Takeshita cost Okada, then I would be okay with Darby retaining that way because that's a bigger issue. Slipped on a banana peel, got screwed by Takeshita, took a real finish. I could see it. It's just the booking of Darby as a world-beating Superman that does not work for me.
Right. There's ways to make it believable that a smaller person can beat a bigger person, but they just crap all over that.
And I really like
Blanchard beat Brian Cage, and I've never looked at Brian Cage the same.
Mm-mm.
And Brian Cage ain't nothing but a jobber, and he was a TNA World Champion at one point.
Looks like $1 million. Saw a clip of him today. He looks like he's ready to go for Mr. Universe. He is jacked to the gills.
Steroids, friends, steroids. Because nobody at his age looks that good naturally. Sorry, gang. Spoiler alert.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah, because I can't say that. We might get sued, Terry. All $4.11 we owe somebody, not that we made. So anyway.
Between StreamYard and AI.
Yeah.
If we ever get this thing monetized on Markout Moments, I can't wait to split the $1.27 up amongst 9 of us.
Jeff Hardy, Bober's got a point here. Couldn't you say the same thing when Jeff Hardy was the world champ? Jeff Hardy was 50 pounds bigger than Darby Allin. Jeff Hardy was experienced, was an Intercontinental Champion, was a tag team champion, was an innovator, and much, much more believable in my opinion than
he's bigger than you think he is, Bober. Because when I saw him in person, I was taken aback. Him and Matt both were larger than they came off on television. I saw him at the in the 24-hour fitness ring at WrestleMania Access at WrestleMania 17, and they were doing they have talent come out and do a quick match at Access. And when I saw how big the Hardy Boys were in person, so no, Jeff doesn't. I don't think Jeff falls into that vein because
now the reckless vein, 100%.
Yeah,
100% reckless because all the shit he did to himself in the ring led to his drug and alcohol abuse outside the ring, which led to all the personal problems he had, which filtered back into his professional life. So, to that, yes, but
is he big enough to ride this ride? Yes, he is.
Yeah. And when they had him win the world title, they had him beat CM Punk, similar sized man. When he won the world title at Armageddon from Triple H and Kozlov, it was in a 3-way. After a pedigree, he steals
the win.
Yeah, he hits it for the win.
There's ways to book them, but side by side, he's every bit as big as Shawn Michaels was in his prime.
Yeah.
I mean, Shawn Michaels was being billed to something. He was paid $1.85.
Yeah. Till he tested positive for steroids in 1993 or 4.
He was thick. And I know I saw him. I think he had a match with Kerry Von Erich, and he's pretty thick then.
Yeah, that was 93. Obviously, because Kerry was still alive. By the way, another tangent, because Terry loves when I do this. You did a very nice job on the Von Erich stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
The other night. Not my thing. You know, it's not my thing. I think if untapped or unrealized potential was a personification, it would be the Von Erichs.
Mm.
High expectations and unacceptable results. That's the Von Erichs.
David was the biggest tragedy. David was the biggest tragedy, and Kerry was the biggest waste.
Yeah.
The untapped potential.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
it's
talk
just
about
that guy couldn't pull it together. And go if you didn't, if it's on A&E, it's WWE's biography, comes on Sunday nights. In fact, that one of them was on earlier today, so you can go back and watch them. It's a two-parter on the Von Erichs. It's the most honest documentary that's ever been done about them. I think that it was a reaction to the Iron Claw.
Okay.
That I think they were willing to tell more because the narrative that was put out there by the Iron Claw was just not acceptable. And I think this was an initiative pushed more by the kids and the grandkids than Kevin.
Yeah, you said that the other day. And like I said, I listen to all your shows, you and Amy. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
And are the reason we are here on Markel Moments. So that's a fact. But I just think it was, well, you were talking about it, and I'm just thinking about it because we've all seen that wasted athlete, that wasted potential. That Kerry Von Erich was good enough to wrestle with 1 foot. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
that's an incredible athlete.
And
as much as I
knew it
on you for your love of the Von Erichs,
and we're not talking about Zach Gallen.
Yeah,
we're not talking about Zach Gallen taking his leg off and bouncing. We're talking about 1980s. Early 90s technology prosthesis.
Right.
Yeah.
That
on a 250-pound man?
Yes.
Pretty close, right? He was a big dude.
It was built like a Greek god.
Yeah. I mean, he was fantastic looking, good in the ring. He wasn't the technician, but he got the job done. The problem was he'd rather party than wrestle, but he got paid to wrestle, not party.
And this documentary, I mean, that was the one thing that Kerry was. He was a party animal.
Mm-hmm.
Everything went. He loved to party. He's a people pleaser.
Well, and like when you think about it, I'm not being a smartass. There's that picture in WWE in the 90s, and I mean, there's that meme. It says, "If you don't like wrestling, or if your friend doesn't like wrestling, show him this." And it's a picture of the Ultimate Warrior, the Legion of Doom, and Kerry Von Erich when they did the Survivor Series match.
Yeah.
The Warriors or whatever. I see 4 drug addicts there. I mean, so he's also surrounding himself with like-minded people like Hawk, like Warrior, like Animal, that are as interested in getting fucked up as they are getting paid.
Yeah.
And Hawk may have been worse than Animal, but Animal did it too. And the Ultimate Warrior is just a shitbag. So even though we all were Ultimate Warrior fans,
him and Kerry were friends in world class.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can look and tell they love to work out together.
Yeah. Yeah. When he was the Dingo Warrior, do I have that right?
Yeah, he came in as the Dingo Warrior.
The Dingo Warrior, yeah. But yeah, no, I like to give Dave shit about the Von Erichs, but it was a very, very good show that you and Amy had on the Von Erichs.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm ready to put it all behind me because David's death affected me. Had never been affected by a celebrity death before that, and I've never been affected by a celebrity death since then.
Mm-hmm.
Not like that. But hearing the stories, and I've lived in the area and went through it, and you've heard the stories over and over again. And I guess I'm tired of hearing the stories, but I'm glad I got to hear things that I didn't know, see clips that I'd never seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But now I think I've got an understanding and I'm ready to go forward. And this is not an issue that needs to be rehashed again.
Yeah. And it's like, get it right, then shut up about it and we'll move on.
And I think that they finally, whether they wanted to or not, it's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fritz wasn't as bad as everybody thought he was. Doris was the hard ass. But they were all more worried about public perception than they were worried about their perception and their image. I'm quite certain that when Carrie got pulled out of rehab, that probably, and I don't know this for a fact, but the news director at the NBC affiliate in Dallas was Scott Murray. He had an incredible relation. The Von Erichs had an incredible relation. Fritz did with the local media. And I think he said he probably heard it, called Fritz and said, "Hey, we're hearing this," and knew that Fritz didn't want it out, and Fritz got him out of rehab. And that's wrong. Bruce says that Vince wanted Carrie to be an inspirational story, and Carrie was in for it. And Fritz convinced him, then pulled the plug on that because of public perception. And man, can you think of the feel-good story Carrie Von Erich would have been?
Especially in the 90s.
Yeah.
But one thing I appreciate, Dave, about your love for the Von Erichs is it's very similar to my love for Nebraska football. And I say that because I grew up in an era where they didn't lose football games. They beat the shit out of everybody. And now I live in an era where they don't. But we were there. We witnessed it. We experienced it. We lived it. And it was your first love. And you ain't ever going to give up on it. But you don't want to hear about all the ugly things. Like for the last 10 years, they couldn't find their way out of a fucking paper bag. Right. And they used to be the best running team in the country. So, I get that part of it. And hopefully you did find some catharsis with the new biography, where there was what would we call it? Reconciliation of the stories that have been put out there. A balancing, if you will.
But Andrew's right. That was really good. I like when you guys dig into documentaries or movies or things like that you find.
Well, we appreciate that, and that's going to be the model of our show going forward. Is we're really going to double down on nostalgia. We'll touch on the current a little bit, but it'll never be the main focus.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, next week it's the Four Horsemen documentary. We'll cover that. I mean, that's
I want you to cover the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, just so we could all laugh together.
We could, because I probably have a different take on the Ultimate Warrior. I didn't. hate the Ultimate Warrior.
No, he called WWE burying him though in that documentary. Where they all said what a dickhead.
Oh, you're talking about that one, yeah. But I wouldn't have a problem covering the Ultimate Warrior just because I liked him. He was the Dingo Warrior.
Yeah.
And he went to WWE and he beat Hulk Hogan. He was our guy.
I was for anybody that wrestled against Hulk Hogan.
We didn't find out what a raging asshole he was until later.
Yeah.
I mean, this is revisionist history. This is hindsight. But at the time, I mean, even Conrad says that he loved the Warrior, and then he found out that the guy was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Well,
tried to scam him.
If you were a real wrestling fan, you were an Ultimate Warrior fan, and if you tell me you weren't, you are full of shit. Because everybody,
Savage and the Ultimate Warrior against Hogan.
The minute he hit the music, he'd run to the ring, he'd hit the ropes, and I mean, everybody was into it. They had the perfect package. And he was the original Goldberg. The matches weren't going to be long, but he was there for the crowd. He was there for the buzz. He was going to get everybody up off their asses, and it was over. So pay attention.
That's like that Honky Tonk Man match where he won the Intercontinental title.
26 seconds or whatever it was, and 20 of them were him getting to the ring.
The look on Honky Tonk's face when the music started.
Yeah.
Was great.
It's so good. So good.
Hey, and I'd make the argument that if Honky Tonk Man would have been a few years later, after when the steroid trial hit, he may have had a more prominent role. I mean, you can't scoff at the Honky Tonk Man's run because the Intercontinental title just wasn't a gift they give anybody.
Right.
So I mean, he had a good run, but could you imagine when all of a sudden it's not the land of the giants? There's no telling what his position in the company could have been just a few years later.
All right, so we'll get into what's coming up this week on your show a little bit
All
later,
right.
but it's not that we hadn't for 20 minutes, but we do love it. We wanted to make sure we talked about that when we had the opportunity to get
Well,
you
I
on
appreciate
here.
it.
So thank
We
you
got
for
some
bringing
really
that
good
up.
ideas. There's good stuff coming. I had a wrestler pitch an idea to me last night, and it's been on the show and it was a good episode just because we were just talking about old wrestling, and those are the best shows. And he wants to talk about world class without the Freebirds and the Von Erichs. He wants to talk about all the bit players, the
What else?
mid carders and enhancement. And I
Missing
think that's
link.
a great idea.
So he wants to talk about Memphis. Is that what you're saying?
No, world class.
Yeah, Memphis.
Before that,
yeah, before the merger.
way before the merger.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got the Iceman, and you got Chris Adams, and you got Gino Hernandez, and you got. I mean, the Iceman alone is a great topic, but
Unrealized potential. You've said his name 86 times or something. Fucking Gino Hernandez.
yes,
Everything I've ever seen Gino is so good. And because I love heels, as you all know, and you talk about the level that he could have been of a perfect, a rude, a Hogan NWO heel, and Gino was doing it, but he didn't make it big yet. And if Gino had had the opportunity to make it big and hadn't died, who the hell knows where he would have gone?
oh my god, he was so
Could
good.
have beat Ric Flair for the world title, Dave. That's legit.
Could have
Could have
replaced
beat
Flair.
Ric Flair for the world title.
Oh yeah, could have replaced Flair and the Horseman.
Yeah. Because he had that Tully Blanchard in him in terms of like attitude and real life attitude, but he had the Flair charisma.
Have you ever seen where he and Tully won the Southwest tag titles and Tully turned on him immediately?
I think you suggested it, and I watched it one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that work. It's just so good.
But you said Tully. I don't know why I didn't think of him. What an incredible heel.
Oh,
An
yeah.
incredible heel. And I get that you had Ole, and you had Arn, and you had Flair, and you had Barry, but you talk about the flashpoint of the Four Horsemen is Tully Blanchard.
Yeah,
It wasn't any
don't
of the
tell
rest
Amy.
of
I enjoyed Tully more than I enjoyed Arn.
Well, she's
Yeah.
right in the audience right now, so
I
she
know.
heard
I know.
She's behind, though, because we already got to the Tully and Gino were tag partners, Amy. Come on now. Anyway.
That's
But no, it's like I said, it's fun to watch. You guys are great listen. And but I know Gino is who interests me, as especially as somebody who had all the potential in the world and it just never materialized. Well, I mean, it materialized, but not the end game. We never got to see how good he would have been.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the dude went up to Detroit in 77 and the Sheik put the U.S. title on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that says a lot.
The Sheik didn't put titles on anybody.
Right.
I remember that movie. Did you ever see it? I Love to Hurt People.
I want to say I saw it years ago.
So I got it at an old video store called Video Kingdom. Kids, video stores are tapes. They used to put tapes and then they went to DVDs, but just kidding. But they had it for sale because nobody would rent it. And the title of the show was I Like to Hurt People. And this is the Sheik, the original Sheik in Detroit, like you're talking about. And they're talking about Cobo Hall. They show matches of him with Bobo Brazil and with Abdullah. Just some old school. And you talk about some violent ass shit back then. I mean, he's got the fireball, of course, but he's also got the blades. They're cutting people. I mean, there's blood everywhere. Yeah. Oh, the spike. I mean, the whole thing.
Ed Farhat was a vicious man.
Well, the other thing was, though, he was a badass, like worse than Bill Watts in that, not a racist, I don't think, like Bill, but you kept kayfabe or you lost your job. Like you were not going drinking with Abdullah, after the matches. Yeah. So, but he had Brody. I mean, had all those guys coming in through there, and that's an underrated promoter too, because he had all the big guys before they became big guys. and maybe possibly because he had them. So anyway.
Aren't you glad you brought me on to hijack your show, Terry?
Well, eventually we will get to the main event. And tonight's main event, most annoying driver habits, top 10, episode 143. Let's talk about it. And here's a picture of Alison looking pretty hot in the picture, if I say so myself.
Yeah, Terry has already made a mistake. My sunglasses are not on. I always drive with sunglasses on. That's number one on the graphic. But number two, this is not TNA Top 10 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is TNA Top 30, and then everything that I do that is acceptable on the road. So I voted for 32 things that I find to be the most annoying driver habits, and then put them in order of how much they pissed me off.
Yeah, putting them in order was...
Ironically enough, Terry, because I don't know where it landed, but I'll tell you where it landed on my list. Number 32 was not driving fast enough for no reason, or whatever, however you worded it. The one for just not driving
for no apparent reason.
Well, yeah, for no apparent reason.
You can probably guess it, but I'm not going to give you the details. But I could have collected 6 or 7 of these into one, and it would have won the thing. But we'll see what order we put these in. Let's see what just missed the list. Changing lanes with no signal. Leaving the turn signal on.
That doesn't bother me that much, because I think some of us get spoiled in thinking our car will tell us that we've got it on. But I show people a little grace on leaving the turn signal on.
My damn turn signal, my Lexus, my Lexus is so sensitive that I can move the car all the way into the other lane and then move the wheel back, and the turn signal will not shut itself off all the time.
We also got cutting people off, and then this one, you said this was Alison, right? Expecting people to slow down when you're merging.
And it's always an asshole that you know's got some power under the hood.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I hate it when I see like a Corvette or a Mustang or something just trickling along on the road. It's like, what the crap?
They act like it don't go, and you know it goes.
Yeah. So the changing lanes with no signal. I guess we had multiple turn signal options. We had a lot of multiple options on here because there were slight nuance differences, and the details matter if you know Terry Weaver. But the changing lanes with no signals drives me fucking crazy. I understand everybody's got lane departure warnings, but bitch, give me the clue that you're getting ready to get over.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, seriously.
Oh, I hate the ones that you know they're going to do it. Like there's a slowdown, or they got to get over.
Yeah.
And you know they're going to go for it.
Yeah.
They won't. And if they just turn the blinker on, it's like asking, will you let me in? It's the ones that do it. It's just the ones that do it that without doing it, they piss me off so bad.
As to your point, Dave, you can see the sons of bitches coming. Like, you know who the bad drivers on the road are, and you don't know them from Adam, but you know they suck at driving. So, sorry, I had to stretch my leg there. But
and while we got people in the chat, if anybody owns a Honda, did they tell you assholes that you own the road when they sold it to you?
I've never owned a Honda.
Me either.
I've had plenty of Toyotas and a Nissan, but no Honda.
I have a Lexus. So, and no, I've never owned a Honda. The cutting people off. Sometimes, I told you there were things that I do. Sometimes this is absolutely necessary. If that bitch is riding in the left lane and will not get the fuck out of the way, I will cut them off. But is it cutting them off if I'm polite enough to use the turn signal?
No.
I don't know. It's debatable.
And the expecting people to slow down when merging is absolute fucking insanity. That on-ramp, I want you doing the speed limit when you hit the fucking entrance of it.
So what about you ever get passed on the right side when you're gonna like somebody will, like, you're waiting because you're gonna get off. It's one of those long where you're gonna exit, and you're coming up and you're waiting for the solid line to finish. So you can, because you don't want to cross, you don't cross the solid line. So you're waiting to get it, because you're going to exit. And some asshole jumps over and comes and blows by you on the right side on the off ramp. Oh.
The thing I hate is the opposite of this. If I'm gonna merge, and then I found my spot, I'm easing into that spot, and then somebody slows down and closes up that hole I was going for. I'm like, you son of a bitch! I have it figured out.
We've got we got a mix master that comes down like a stack, and as you're coming down, you're gonna get on I-20.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're coming down that ramp, people will start, because there's lots of concrete and it's painted, but they'll start cutting across just to get into that left lane instead of riding it out and merging like you're supposed to. And those assholes drive me crazy too.
Oh, I deal with that every day. I've got a left-hand turn about half a mile before the road merges. And I tell you, 2 miles before my turn, everybody has packed that left lane. It is ridiculous. It's impossible to get over there for my turn. It's crazy.
Yep.
Let's look at number 10, rubbernecking.
Yes.
Yeah.
This did not make my top 10. But rubbernecking
not either, but it was up there.
Because you're about to be in the next accident because you're too fucking busy looking at whatever is going on the side of the road instead of what's in front of you. We have a lot of bad drivers in North Carolina. Incidentally, let me go on another tangent here, Terry, for a second. You guys both live in the lower South as well, so maybe this happens where you live. In the state of North Carolina, we have a lot of unlicensed drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Not just uninsured or underinsured, but unlicensed. These bitches will get pulled over by the highway patrol for speeding or whatever. They don't have a license. The highway patrol will hand them the speeding ticket and tell them to have a nice day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have no driver's license. So apparently driving with a suspended license or no license in North Carolina is not really a big deal.
It should end your trip for the day.
I got broken up from rubbernecking at probably in my 20s because I came upon an accident and it was a motorcycle, and I saw the guy laying in the road.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to see that again. And so
that'll change your opinion for sure. Yeah.
I don't look, because I don't want to look at something I don't want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember in high school, the
rubbernecking just makes it worse too. If, obviously they need to keep the lane clear, but let them do their jobs and just move on,
One thing that wasn't on the list that should have been is when people use the access lane on the side when there's traffic and zip up to the exit or whatever, and there's like a wreck. It's like the freaking ambulance needs that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Don't be selfish. But when I was in high school, they had this thing where they did like a fake wreck scene, and it was out by the highway in the front yard of the high school. So they had one cop that his job was waiting on rubberneckers and telling them, keep moving, nothing to see here, because they were eyeballing this fake wreck over in the high school parking lot, and they were slowing down. It's crazy.
Now, there is one thing that I will rubberneck, and I'm not sure if this is an option or not. This is one of those things I do on the road, and that is if you are driving like an idiot, if you're driving too slow in my precious left lane, if you do not use your turn signals, if you choose to merge like a fuckhead, and then I pass you, I promise I'm going to look at you to make sure you are as stupid as you looking as you drive. Exactly. I am going to look at you, and I might even eye fuck you just a little bit, but I promise I will give you a resting bitch face as I'm passing.
Me too. Anyway. I look every single time. Number 9, hitting the brakes constantly for no reason at all. Just hitting the brakes.
Yeah.
People that do this have money, guys. Because have you had your brakes changed on your cars lately? Used to be able to do it for
I
$100.
have.
Those days are gone.
They're long
And-
gone. I mean, that's not even oil change these days.
I'm
Now, if
blessed.
you had-
I'm blessed that my son-in-law can change my brakes for me.
And if you have a 2024 IS 500 Lexus with powder coated in ceramic, those brakes are a lot more than $500.
Oh, yeah.
I like my brakes. I like them to work. I do not use them excessively. In fact, rather than brake sometimes, I just take my foot off the gas pedal. I know it's a novel idea,
Yeah.
but take your foot off the gas and you will naturally slow the car down. I promise.
That's right.
But the brakes is annoying, yes. And also hard on your automobile. You're hard on all of the internal mechanisms in the wheel. You're hard on the brake caliper. You're hard on the rotors and the pads. And then you wonder why you hear this awful sound when you back out of your driveway in the morning and hit that brake the first time. That's why. And good on you, Dave, knowing a mechanic. You got to save money where you can these days because a damn grocery store ain't it.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah,
No
the
way.
cool part about him is he's actually got the he's actually got the what am I trying to say here? He's got the computer.
The scanner, the OBD2,
Yeah, like he can
the all data. He's got the all data.
I mean, he's got the actual that where like when I had my Ford, he could tell my Ford to release it.
Yeah.
He could plug into the computer. That's what I'm trying to say.
Here's
Yeah.
something cool.
Because it's not like it used to be where you could just go in there and do it. Now you got to get it to release.
Yeah.
The
So-
electronics.
So I have bought the things to plug into that, but I did something cool recently because my car's pretty old and my key fob ended up where it wasn't actually unlocking and locking my car. So I was having to use the actual physical key part of it, and that's a pain in the ass. I hate that.
And if
Good
it's a Chevrolet, when you go to unlock it, it's going to set the damn alarm off until you put the key in the ignition.
So we got that kind of thing. But I found a thing you can go online, and I did this. I bought a couple of aftermarket keys on Amazon, and I rented a thing that hooks up to an app, and it's Bluetooth. And I read in my driveway, I set up both of those keys.
Nice.
Saved a lot of money doing that. I spent $70 instead of
Versus
$100.
$300 or $400. Yeah,
Exactly.
easily.
It was great.
Another tangent, Terry. This is a squirrel moment, really. We're talking to a Frito man here. I want to know why the fuck chips are so expensive, Dave. So we're talking about the important things in life, like driving.
We just had a huge price decrease.
I don't know what price decrease you're talking about. I told you
Lay's-
there ain't nothing cheap at the grocery
Lay's-
store.
Lay's went from $4.99 to $4.29. Doritos
Really?
went from $6.29 to $5.49. And Cheetos and Fritos went from $5.89 to $5.49.
The man's a salesman.
Tostitos
That's 40 cents.
Tostitos went from $5.99 to $5.99 to $5.49, as did Ruffles, and they also took the Cantina Tostitos down to $4.29.
The fact that chips have a 5 in the price is offensive.
But it was
Let's talk about sodas. Do you deliver those too? Because
I do
that's
not.
absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, it offends me how much I have to pay
It's-
for Dr. Peppers.
It's
I'm
bad.
just saying.
Yeah.
Terry, another list. Things that should not cost this much money.
We'll jot it down. We do have baseball managers and with Bobby Cox, things that shouldn't cost so much. With Bobby Cox passing away with Ted Turner, maybe we need to think about doing that baseball managers list soon.
Yeah. Well, Bobby's going to win now.
We'll
'Cause he
delay
did-
it a little bit actually
'cause he did the
we already
job.
set next week's list, and I'm not messing it up.
Yeah.
Number 8,
All right. Number 8, El Ocho.
tailgate.
Oh, fuck
Hate
you people
that.
that do this. Fuck you people that do this. If you're not buying me a drink, don't ride my ass.
Yeah.
Get the fuck away from me.
Well, I drive, and Terry just recently drove on the Natchez Trace Parkway, so he knows what I'm talking about.
Sucks.
You get on the Natchez Trace, and the speed limit's 50. It's a national park.
And there's nothing around.
But it's great because you don't have, I mean, you can go, and I love driving it because I can go set the cruise control on 55. You can get away with 5 over. No red lights all the way to the highway. It's great, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful drive. But there's people that want to speed on the Natchez Trace Parkway, and I'm not getting a ticket from the park ranger, so I'm going 55. And they think if they can get up and ride my ass that they're going to make me, and they'll eventually have to pass me. But if they start tailgating me, I'll kick that bitch down to 50.
Yeah. Well, I did get pulled over on the Trace many years ago.
Oh,
because it goes. So, how far is Natchez away from where you guys are?
about 45 minutes.
Okay, so it starts Natchez, Mississippi, and I guess it goes up into Tennessee. I don't know, but it went through the county that I grew up in Alabama, and it cuts the corner there and goes up into Tennessee, I guess. Well, there was this girl I used to drive to and see that lived farther west in Alabama, and I would hit the Trace for about a mile, and I'd hit like 65 because I don't care. I'm not on there long. Well, I got pulled over one day, but luckily there was somebody else in front of me, and they got the ticket. But he yelled at me, "Pull over!" And just got a strict warning. But let me tell you, she wasn't worth all that trouble.
They seldom are.
In the morning, I drive Highway 70, and it never ceases to happen. The speed limit is 55. In North Carolina, you can do 65 with absolutely no issue, and closer to 68, 69 miles an hour. It's when you hit the 15 miles an hour over that you have trouble. But without failure, I'll be driving 68 miles an hour in a 55. And there is some dickhead who is in such a hurry to get to work, and I'm not that person, that he will ride right up on me until I move over to the right lane, because I am one of those people that ride the lane to pass the person on the right, and then I will move back over to the right. So I'm passing a person. While I'm passing them, they think they need to identify what color of paint is on that rear bumper of that Lexus.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are a bunch of idiots. If I have to hit the brake for any reason whatsoever, we are fucked.
Yeah.
So that's why I said tailgating. Fuck you, and fuck you. And people that do it, I don't road rage anymore. They just get a really sarcastic thumbs up from me as they pass me.
People don't have the ability to anticipate when their opportunity to pass is going to be. So they just ride your butt the whole time until they get a chance. But you can do that from farther back.
I try not to be too big of an asshole with brake checking and stuff like that because I've been shot before.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all have ever heard anything about Jackson, Mississippi. This is not the place you want to be an asshole to people.
Right.
Because they'll shoot out the window at you.
Well, and that's one of the things that one of the reasons I don't road rage. I used to scream and holler. I'd flip people off and honk the horn and all this stuff. Everybody's got a damn gun, and I'm not willing to die because you're driving like a dickhead, and it made me mad.
Now, I do scream and holler, just that they don't know it.
I do commentary.
We talked about New Year's resolutions, and that's why that F-bomb don't last long with me.
No, Terry has had the pleasure of me driving a car with him in it after $185 Wagyu steak. But I will do commentary while I'm driving. And somebody will cut me off. Oh, that was a nice fucking decision you made there. Did you really think that was? And I'm just doing the play-by-play the whole time.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah. Oh, look at this fucking moron. I hope he looks as dumb as he drives. And then I find out, Terry, when I pass him.
Oh, it's even worse if I pull into a parking lot. I mean, if I get back to a parking lot and somebody's parked too close to my car and I'm like, oh, great parking job, asshole. Well, next time, leave me a fucking can opener. Assholes like you ought to take the bus.
Number 7, speeding up while being passed.
Oh, there's a special place in hell for people that do that.
It's like, what is your problem?
This ain't NASCAR. This ain't
And this-
NASCAR.
This goes to my overall road rule: pick a speed, drive the speed.
Yeah.
The other overall road rule I have is lead, follow, or get the fuck out of my way. I have no problem leading. I have no problem following. But do not do this. This is offensive. Very offensive.
Number 6, slowing down for no apparent reason.
Didn't even make my top 10. I was number 32, Terry.
Number one.
Number 1. Wow.
Highway
This was number
27 is a
32.
dangerous. I live off of Highway 27. It's a dangerous piece of highway. It's a dangerous highway. There's very few places that you can safely pass. And these assholes will drive slow where you can't pass them and speed up where you can and then slow down when you can't.
Well, they're finishing their text, Dave.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was good, Terry. Yeah, I've been guilty of texting and driving. I now have CarPlay, so there's that. I've often checked Instagram while driving, but
A lot of
don't
these
tell
are
me
very
that.
similar, or at least they work together. Like you said, Dave, you listed 2 or 3 of these, and I listed a different one, and they're all related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you get to texting for driving, I started to tell you that there needed to be an AI picture of my wife, but
Oh, I got something on there. I use my noggin. Anyway, number 5, not keeping up with the flow of traffic.
This pisses me off. Okay, gentlemen, I live in the South, as do you both. And my sisters live in outside of Augusta, Georgia, in Harlem and Thompson, respectively, which means there is a order of how things work as far as the highway is concerned. In North Carolina, you drive 10 miles over the speed limit. You get to the South Carolina border after you stop at Buc-ee's, and it's gentlemen, start your engines. And then you cross into Georgia in Augusta on Highway 20, and it is the speed limit doesn't fucking matter, just roll.
Yeah.
And then there's this guy. So outside of Columbia, on Highway 20, in South Carolina, it's 60 miles an hour. In all of the years I've lived down here and made that drive south, I cannot tell you that I've ever driven 60 miles an hour through Columbia. Because no one else is either. They're all driving 80. So you know what you do so you don't get somebody or get killed? You drive 80.
Right.
That's the proper fucking thing to do. Me and Alison were in the Supra outside of Atlanta, and I was doing 100 miles an hour with 8 other cars. And then I slowed down and decided to be the last car in the line. But I was doing 100 miles an hour at one point in that little car on the way to Huntsville.
see, my job requires on me they frown strongly on speeding tickets. So if I get a ticket and I can't get it defensive driving and keep it off my record, that's that affects my job.
Yeah.
And I've always been told that 8 is great, 9 your mind when it comes to the way that the highway patrol and cops normally feel. If you're 8 over, great, 9 your mind. And
I drive 9 over everywhere I go.
Now, when we're coming through Louisiana or coming back from Texas, if there's a line of cars that are going fast, and I'll get in there and I'll keep up with them, but then sometimes I just got to get back over in the right lane and bring it down because it's just too risky for me. And I'm afraid in Texas or Louisiana, I'm going to be the one they pick out of the crowd because I've got Mississippi plates. So it's also, I've started to show a little grace to people in the right lane. If it looks like a commercial vehicle, because I have a governor on my truck that I can't go more than 65 miles an hour.
Right.
And even at 70, I'm rolling slow. And there's a sign on the back of it that says I can't do more than 65, but I don't get as mad at, like, I used to really get, and Stephanie does, and I had to explain it to her. you'll get these 18-wheelers that are side by side and you think they're running a rolling roadblock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, this guy's probably got a governor on his truck, and this guy can probably go 5. This guy may be governed at 60, and this guy may be governed at 65.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a second to pass because you're
Right.
not doing enough speed. So you get stuck beside them, and it kind of.
And then the road turns in a way that makes it shorter for this guy that's going slower, and then they stay beside each other a little bit longer.
And it's annoying, but they're just trying to go. I can't stand to get behind somebody that don't do 65. Because I hit my cruise like when I'm coming up 49, coming back during the day, it's 65. I mean, it's a 60 mile per hour. I mean, 65. I'm maxed out on my cruise control.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get up and my truck has a sensor that it'll slow me down. Well, now if I'm doing 61, 62, I'm trying to get over and pass them, and then I'm going to get in front of them, but still, I try to be aware of the people that are trying to drive 75. I don't like to get out in that left lane and hang them out and block everybody.
Mm.
So, but when I see it on the highway, I don't get as mad anymore because I understand what that person's trying to do.
Dave, that was a very logical, well thought out, and very, very well done explanation. You get 0 points. And those truckers are playing grab ass, and they are in the fucking way, and they need to move that piece of shit, as I've yelled at the car more than once, so that I can get down the road. Because the left lane belongs to passenger cars. Y'all bitches stay in the right lane. We ain't interested.
I'm definitely a middle lane
guy. I'm a middle lane guy. So if there's multiple lanes, I'm a middle lane guy.
You have a little more control, because I hate the thought of me changing to the middle lane and somebody else from the other side is changing to the middle lane. It's kind of like the shared turn lanes that go to a different direction. That frightens me that I'm going to head on somebody at some point. But twice in my life, I have been in the right lane on a divided highway and somebody turned the wrong direction and passed me. One guy, I saw him pull out of the liquor store. The other guy was just some old man that probably didn't need to be driving anymore.
Got turned around, yeah.
But what really pissed me off is I called the cops and said there's a guy driving the wrong way, and they were more interested in what my name was than coming out and doing anything.
Yeah.
Not interested in that either. Number 4, Terry, make it good.
Number 4, texting while driving.
Every once in a while. I mean, damn.
You see what these two women are talking about here?
Terry is so hot.
And she said that bald head of his is exquisite.
I love it. I text and drive on occasion. Most of the time I do the text at the stoplight. So then all of a sudden I'm sitting at the stoplight and it turns green and I gotta hit the send button real quick.
I'll tell you what, I get to the point where I want to take pictures of things while I'm driving. Like, I wish my friends could see this, but I don't do it. But I really wish you guys could see some of this stuff.
Here's the problem. I will try to do voice text.
Yeah.
The Siri screws me so bad.
Oh, man. I am not from the South like either of you, but Siri doesn't know where the fuck I'm from because I'll start talking to that thing, and the only word it ever gets right is any variation of the word fuck. Never, ever, ever, ever does my Siri get that wrong. Apparently, it hears it enough. But everything else, and Terry has seen this, I've sent him voice text, and him and Alison and Amy are like, what the hell did he just say? And I'm trying to be a responsible driver and not text them with my phone in my hand, but I've gotten really good at watching the road and doing the one thumb thing with the hand.
Yeah. I'll bag on Stephanie because, I mean, I'll see her throw that shit right up on top of the steering wheel and like she's looking, but still. And I'm over here just trying to make a deal with God to let me make it one more day. And she'll say something to me but I don't text. But like if I get a notification, I'll look down, I'll read. But in her car, In her car, if I got the cruise on, at least I won't drift out of the lane. And she gets so pissy if you're like, hey, put the cruise control on, at least you'll stay in the lane. So a lot of time, I just like to get in the car and go to sleep. Because it's just easier that way.
Yeah, I don't think Dave's going to be able to come back on the show.
He won't be out of.
saying a
He's
few
going to
too
be in the
many things
doghouse for
tonight.
that one, tattling on his wife on Mother's Day, nonetheless.
Oh
Rude
man,
day.
yes.
Very rude.
Number
Top
3,
Terry. Here we go.
driving slowly under normal conditions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, when it's raining, I get it. Like when I was heading down to Dave's house and I was in that rental car and I couldn't figure out how to turn on the windshield wipers and it was raining really hard and I was on the interstate. Yeah, I had to go slow. But normal conditions, come on now. If you're 10 miles an hour under the speed limit, that's pretty ridiculous, even if you are in the right lane.
Oh, speed
Those
limit
are
can
the
be
people-
75 in Texas, and they'll drive 65.
It's crazy. Those are the people I rubberneck. Like, I'm like, look at this dumb motherfucker right over here. I mean, because there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. And Terry, you have them in the wrong lane. Normally, they're in my lane. That's the left lane. Though,
Well,
for those of you playing on home.
The point I was trying to make, and I got chat to put them in the right lane, was this is even a problem if they're in the right lane.
That is true. That is true. That's very true. What's the runner up this week?
Number 2, not using the turn signal.
That's
and
right.
I picked a 3-way stop in a car turning left in front of this other guy because I thought that is a pretty big example of not using a turn signal being a very bad thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. And clearly he does not have the right of way. Yeah, this is terrible. Turn signals are not accessory items. They're not for aesthetics. They're to be used. I use my turn signal. This is no bullshit, guys. I live off the highway. So I do the U-turn. I use my turn signal. I turn into the neighborhood. I use my turn signal. I live in a neighborhood that is just one big circle. So you can either drive all the way around to my house or you can start up the other side of the street. I use my turn signal to turn right to the shorter way to my fucking house. I might have, even on occasion, used the turn signal to turn into my driveway. I want people to know what the intention I have to turn this car is and what direction it will be going.
Hey, a long time ago, when I was my first married, we bought us a house. We bought a model home. We went to go look at furniture. That they were closing out a model. We went to go look at the furniture in it. I just went ahead and bought the house because model homes got all the sprinklers and the landscaping and the window treatments. Yeah. It was great. Well, there wasn't anything else out there but these 3 model homes at the time. And I would travel early in the morning and late at night because I'd get off work, 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I'm coming in real late. Well, as I come up to my street, I pull up and I turn right and I pull right up in front of my house. Well, there was a cop in the field on the other side and he hits the lights and he comes across and he gets up behind me and he's checking out. And I'm explaining to him, we just moved in this house and I didn't even know what, I thought he was just checking because I was, out late. That they were notorious about that. Shout out to Rowlett, Texas, you pricks. Anyway, he goes, is there any reason that you didn't use your turn signal? And I said, yeah, there wasn't nobody behind me. There wasn't nobody in front of me. I didn't see you over in the field. So there wasn't any point in using it. Because when you use your turn signal, use your turn signal, you're announcing your intentions to everybody. You're telling everybody that I'm going to turn. And if there's nobody around, then you're just talking to yourself. And he laughed.
So
No, I did
I
not.
don't hear a ticket involved there.
I did not
So,
get a ticket.
okay,
I was
that's
waiting
good.
for you to say, and then he
Yeah.
wrote the ticket. I was
Oh,
waiting.
Exactly.
let me tell y'all while we're on it. Let me tell you about these pricks. One night, my there was a tornado down in Dallas. Tornado in the neighborhood where our grocery store was. So my uncle came over and picked up me and my dad, and we were going to drive down there and make sure the store was okay. And my uncle drove a Chevy Silverado with a Rolex conversion package on it. And I tell you that to tell you that when we get back, we're coming across the lake as we're coming into the city limits of Rowlett. His radar detector goes off, and the cop turns around and follows us because of the time of the night where it is. Anyway, we turn on the street. He turns and follows us as we pull up in front of my dad's house. He hits the lights and pulls up and asks what we're doing. And he goes, my uncle explains, hey, there's a tornado in Dallas. We went to go check, make sure our business was okay. He goes, okay. He goes, well, I just, there was a truck matching this description that robbed a construction site. So we were just checking. And my uncle called bullshit on it because who's robbing a construction site in a Chevy Silverado with a Rolex conversion package? And my uncle got ridiculous with like, no, look. And the guy tried to shine his light on the window, but it's the dark tint. So, that flashlight was just bouncing off. He couldn't see in there.
Oh, God.
And my uncle said, no, I want you to look. You ain't going nowhere till you search every inch of this truck. Oh,
that's wonderful.
Oh,
that is wonderful. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that
they were just in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look back on it, it was they'd follow me to work on my bumper all the way down Rowlett Road to the city limits, and at night. But I was leaving for work 5:30 in the morning. I was coming back 11 o'clock at night.
Yep, because you had to be up to no good.
Yeah.
Had to be up to no good.
Number one, no surprise, driving slowly in the left lane.
This was probably a runaway. This might have been unanimous. Yeah. This is why you are all my people. Do not, under any circumstance, drive slow in the left lane. There are signs, ladies and gentlemen, that say, slower drivers keep right. Bitch, that's where you belong. Stay out of my lane.
I believe it's a law here now.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll ticket your ass in North Carolina.
Yeah, you'll get ticketed now.
Yeah.
If
you're holding up traffic and they can prove it's you, and it don't take long, when you see all that line of cars, they will nail your ass.
Yeah, because if you got 10 cars behind you, they'll be real quick to say that asshole did it.
Yep. And they will nail you. But yeah,
you ever get behind anybody? You ever get behind anybody that pisses you off and you wish that you had the power to wave your hand and make them flip off the road and this is even better. And this happened to me Friday. I'm on a service road and it's a stop sign and there's a stop sign here. And then you can come across and there's another stop sign so you can turn on the highway. Well, there's a car that went and they're waiting to get on the highway and I got my blinker on because I'm next to go, but this truck just couldn't be bothered and he took my turn, which really pissed me off.
Oh,
and man, I'm driving down thinking, I hope I see this son of a bitch upside down in the ditch. I hope there's a cop that's got him pulled over. I'm gonna slow down, roll down the window and laugh.
Oh,
I mean, just those are the kind of things that when I'm driving,
always the best when they're pulled over farther ahead.
Yeah, always.
Oh, and it happens on the trace.
Yeah, and that's why, ladies and gentlemen, that Teppy takes Dave to church on Sundays is because he thinks these things while he's behind the wheel.
Cleansing.
Yeah, but if I ever actually see that happen, if Homeboy was in that pickup truck yesterday with upside down in a ditch, it would have done a lot for my faith.
Let's run down the top 10. Top 10 most annoying driver habits. Number 10, rubbernecking. Number 9, hitting the brakes constantly. Number 8, tailgating. Number 7, speeding up while you're being passed. Number 6, slowing down for no apparent reason. Number 5, not keeping up with the flow of traffic. Number 4, texting while driving. Number 3, going slow during normal conditions. Number 2, not using your turn signals. And number 1, driving slow in the left lane.
Yep, and yep. So, Dave, talk to us about what we have on the network and what you and Amy specifically are doing Wednesday. Oh, wait a minute. I lied. Sorry,
No,
Terry.
go ahead and do it. We'll go back.
Jump the shark.
Tell us about what y'all are doing.
We're gonna review the Hulk Hogan documentary this week. I'll talk about my weekend at SWA, what's going on with that promotion, what we got coming up. Some talent that I got to work with that I hadn't met before that was really, really impressive. And we'll do all that Tuesday night.
What time?
6:00 Central.
So 7:00 Eastern,
7 Eastern.
real time zone. Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
Tune in promptly to see if Amy's equipment works.
Hey, look, she was on the other day, and then she froze. Like in the middle of the show, I said, "Oh, she couldn't do it. Couldn't have one show, not a problem."
Hey, but she got in. She got in, and her stuff worked last week. So
awesome.
Yeah, very good.
We were real proud of it. We kept the flow going.
Yeah, because when I was on your show not that long ago, that was a nightmare. Like we're trying to type her, get her attention. I'm texting her on my phone. I'm like, honey, what are you doing over there?
A couple weeks ago, I just told her, I said, hey, let's just do this tomorrow night. She said, no, go ahead and start the show.
We've done that before, but that was a while back before we went live. I mean, we've definitely figured some things out.
Yeah, for real.
So, hey, we can just do this tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, sometimes life gets in the way. Like Terry told everybody at the beginning of the show, he didn't know if he was going to have internet tonight.
Oh yeah, I thought I messed up rebooting the router.
It's an important part of the process if you're broadcasting live.
Exactly.
So here's our upcoming shows.
Yes.
So let me explain next week's title: Worst Things to Leave Behind. This could be something you left at home, something you left at a hotel, something you left somewhere and you shouldn't have left it there. Your keys, your sunscreen, your wallet, if your favorite pillow and you took it on vacation and you left it at the resort. Any of those things. That's what we're going to talk about next week.
Yeah. That's going
to be a good one. Thanks to the TNA Top 10 chat, a collection of the worst songs to play at a funeral, worst songs to play at a wedding, worst fashion trends, worst songs to play at a kid's birthday party, worst songs at work, and the worst pickup lines.
Oh, you got to have me back for the pickup line. The absolute worst pickup line I ever heard actually worked. Oh.
And what so Dave didn't tell you is Teppy and he are happily married. So
No. I witnessed my cousin Josh. My cousin Josh said this to the girl. You know how sometimes you go to the club and there'll be a girl working the beer trough and she's wearing a bikini?
Okay.
Looks like right off the page a supermodel.
All right.
Yeah, this won't be a pickup line that you'll have on your top 50 or 100. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what he said because it's just too good. He walks up to her and he's getting a beer and he looks her right down and he goes, "You are so goddamn fine that I would eat the corn out of your shit." When she goes on break, he's got her up against the wall with his tongue down her throat.
Oh my goodness.
It worked. I mean, it was incredible. I'm like just in awe that my cousin Josh could pull this off. Fresh out of the military.
Yeah. Say it with confidence, and all of a sudden, it works.
It tickled her fancy for sure.
Oh. I just happen to be able to say it in English and Spanish.
Wow.
So, anyway, shout out.
So, hey, feel free to use that and get back to me and see if it worked for you in 2026.
Maybe I don't like corn on my pizza as much as I thought. So let's move on.
That band is called
This has been episode 143. May 10th.
If you don't make that a choice on the poll, Terry, you don't have a hair on your ass.
Well, that's going to be a difficult one because that's so wide open. It could be anything.
Yeah.
That's this was suggested by Alex Wheaton, and that's a good one. But it'll be fun, but it's probably going to take me a little time to put that list together, just because it's. I mean, that could be anything. Anything could be imagined.
I'll be glad to help you with it.
And Terry just mentioned Alex Wheaton. If any of our listeners, viewers, etc., fans, haters even, have ideas for top 10 lists, please submit them. We're all ears. In 5 minutes, we came up with 8 shows because the juices were flowing. So sometimes it happens like that, and other times we're like, the fuck are we talking about this?
And the reason is because we took a whole
top 10
month
baby
off and
making
we didn't
songs.
talk about it at all. And we had to come up with it in 10 minutes.
Top 10 baby making songs is a show, and I don't know why y'all hadn't done it yet.
We're PG, Dave. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I said baby making.
He's lying. We are E for everyone, Dave, which means we might have some young viewers on this show.
Well, they learned a lot of new words tonight.
They did.
Hey, and I hope one of them goes to school tomorrow and tells the teacher, "You are so fine."
Well, it's the last week of school. They'll just roll their eyes and send them to the next grade.
Yeah,
tell that hot teacher at school that to act like her ankles hate each other.
Thank you, Dave, for showing up in Allison's absence. We hope you are feeling better when you hear this. If you listen to us, Allison, we love you, and happy Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day to everybody else. And that is a wrap. And as always, love your people. Tell them you love them. Make it weird. See you next time, everybody.